But but everyone has that
Mashed
chance
together.
for like the big glow up. Like, Carrie Underwood when she won American Idol and Carrie Underwood now are two different animals.
Welcome to Spinsters, a podcast where we owe Bam Adebayo half our paycheck. I'm Jordan Liggins, that's Haley O'Shaughnessy, and we are joined today by Michelle Beadle, the host of What Did I Miss? Couple housekeeping things before we get started. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. And do not forget to listen to our last episode of Alan Cesaro doing a deep dive into Warriors fandom. It's amazing. It's called A Long Way from Oakland. You have to listen to it. Yeah, Michelle Beadle after the break.
Harry, you wrote down that Michelle has money on the Warriors and the Celtics, and I saw that tweet. How did that happen? Did those happen at different times?
Oh, yeah. Way different times. So I went to Vegas last November, like the only place I've been in 3 years. And I had never done like a sports bet, and they have those stupid little machines. So I'm like, I'm going to put $100. And I stood there for a second. I was like, who do I feel could win the finals? And I literally based it on like anger and redemption. In my mind, it's like you're the Warriors, you're the state of California, you've been force-fed Lakers news for the last 2 years, you weren't even in the playoffs, like you guys know and think you're better than the Lakers anyways, so this has to be sort of just brewing inside all of them. And so I just was like, oh yeah, no, I think this is it. The Warriors are going to win. And I accidentally did it twice, so I have like $200 on it instead of $100 on it. But it's cool, like I would win 14, so I'm like, that's fun, out of nowhere. And then Boston I did back in May, because I was sort of, obviously we all watched them have like a crazy turnaround, and it was more of just along the lines of they just looked better than everybody else. And I thought, I'm going to hedge my bet here and see hedge as if I know what the hell I'm doing.
No, but that's good. Yeah,
it's working. Like
right
so far, I'm like, so I won't lose is what basically I'm trying to say. Like somehow I might be my first and last sports bet because I want to go out on top.
Are these and that's the only two teams you bet to win it all? Were the teams in the finals?
No, also the Edmonton Oilers, but that did not pan out. But I will say this:
that's a different sport.
Yeah, they got swept last night. But at least.
Context
clues
are telling me that's not basketball.
That's not basketball. I'm with you, Haley. I'm not going to guess, but yes.
Yeah, that was random too. But I don't know. I was trying to do that thing where you get a feeling so that you can turn that into something. But I don't know if that's working. But we'll see. Gonna win.
Yeah. Okay.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Wait, so who would you win more money on if they won?
Warriors. But not by much. Like a couple $100 more, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Harry and Sierra are Warriors fans.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that works out. Yeah, I think you're in a good spot. I think
let's talk about that. I actually, interestingly enough, I think the NBA has done a kindness to athletes every year when it spaces out the finals, but it also makes me forget. So much other NBA news has happened that there's other things I really want to talk about more.
Yes.
Then the finals, let's talk about that real quick. What we're feeling right now, 2 games in, 1-1, going back to Boston. How do you guys feel about
it feels like it started 2 weeks ago. That's the problem.
It does.
Like, that's a long break in between. I get it. Like, you want to extend it, blah, blah, blah. But as fans, and my whole argument is, we have so much to watch nowadays, like so much to watch. It's summertime, the weather's nice, whatever. Don't drag it out. Like our attention spans are so small as it is. Like when the game came on the other night, I was like, oh, that's right. We got game 2. But then it ended up being a blowout and I ended up changing it anyways. But it's just, I wish it was every other day. I understand why it's not, but it sort of drags out. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know how you'd fix it otherwise though.
Yeah. On one hand, it's nice that they get the break. Peyton recovered from his injury during this, but I also do forget it's happening. Like, for example, I've watched many other competitions come to a conclusion.
Yes.
Multi-season competitions come to, I've watched, I watched season 5 of Love Island during the finals.
Nice. God, it's such TV.
I'm like on episode 50, I think. I'm about done. Watching HGTV about beach houses. Yeah, that was really good.
I watch Stranger Things. I could crank that out. I watch.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
watched
just
that
cranking
yet.
stuff out because what else am I going to do in between? It's like we're so dumb. We're like, I have to watch something. Like,
Yeah.
dare I read a book or anything else? Go for a hike. Nope,
no,
gotta
damn
watch.
it.
No.
I want to release. Yeah, I just, whatever. I also took up Pilates, so I have a new hobby.
Oh, that's a
throughout
good one.
the finals. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is
Okay.
a good one.
Yeah, that's healthy.
Thank you, Adam Silver. Jordan, what about you? What are you feeling? Are you more leaning towards the Warriors or the Celtics at this point? Or can you remember that they're both in it?
Yeah, I was like, who's playing again? I think that first game was a shock to all of our systems. I think the Celtics were like, hey, we're here. We're still good. We're still the team to beat. And we were talking about a little bit before, like the Warriors had to win game 2 and they had to win it how they won it. Like they had to show that they, were the better team, that they deserve the home court advantage, like all of that. So I think now it's a series. I would have been bummed if I've been talking about how the playoffs have been such a snoozer this whole time. And then if it was a sweep or it wasn't looking like it was going to be tight, I would have just waved the white flag for the whole postseason. It would have not been good. So now it's 1-1. We're going back to Boston, the drama again. But I feel like since it's such a big break, I don't even know when the next game is. Tomorrow? Wednesday? We're going to need to
Come on.
the morning of, I'm going to need to reread everything, get back into the drama, get back into the series. Because I was watching Married at First Sight. We finished that season for Atlanta.
That's a show that's really good to the institution of marriage. But I think, here's my thing, because it could still be a snooze fest. Like if these all end up being, like let's say there's 7 games, but they're all blowouts. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to watch that. I would be so depressed if that's what it was. But please don't be. I do. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you guys caught it, but like in game 1, it was the Mark Jones was talking about, ooh, it's the big third quarter. This is what the Warriors do. And then he did it again in game 2. And I remember going, oh no, it's going to happen again. No way. And it was kind of a weird moment because I thought, well, I don't think they'll let it happen again, but it would be crazy if they did. But yeah, I don't know. I'll take 7 games. Just let's be competitive. That's all I ask.
Oh, totally. And I mean, game 1 for me delivered. The Celtics
That was drama.
pulling that off was, I would say, completely unexpected by me. I think
by everyone. Nobody could have
Yeah,
seen that
yeah,
coming. That was
yeah.
crazy.
Our friend Katie Heindel wrote this piece that essentially wrote a recap of game 1 like it was a TV show, like
my
a
gosh.
reality show, or maybe not even fully a reality show, but it was like it was a scripted show. And what it made me think about, especially for the finals, because there's time between the games, is that they should have a previously on.
Yes.
Like before they start the game, they should be like a previously.
Wow.
They should.
On the
But
NBA
they
Finals.
could.
That's
Yes.
like, look, that's a shout out to ESPN. That's not hard for them to do. They could easily do that. Maybe we'd put one less segment of someone screaming at me without any sort of actual input and then put that segment instead. Like I would love a previously on. We need
I
it.
think they should do it.
Who would
I
narrate
actually
it?
don't, and this isn't a knock on the series. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I think that it's pretty simple what it's coming down to right now. You've got 2 great defenses, and it is a game of runs and turnovers.
Yeah.
If the Celtics are taking good care of the ball, and I do think, sorry, Harry and Sierra, that's actually more in their control than it's not, they will win. But if they're not, they're going to lose.
Am I wrong? Like, am I wrong in saying that I don't dislike either team? Like a lot of times these finals and whatnot, they come down, you're like, I hate that team. I don't feel like that this time. I feel like I'd be happy with whoever wins this one. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Totally.
You're right.
Either way, unfortunately, Jordan, the Lakers lose.
And then we all win, Jordan. Join us.
No, I think, I talked about this before. It's so hard to root against and not love the Celtics team. But as a Lakers fan, it's like against who I am to even, I find myself kind of clapping when Marcus Smart makes a defensive play or they ruffle Draymond's feathers a little more. I find myself clapping and I'm like, I can't.
You got to do it. You got remember, just those were years ago.
Lovable.
Yeah, it's the new generation. I think you can cheer for the green. You can do it. I don't think anyone will hold it against you. that rivalry's gone.
I'm shunned.
I know. It's tough. It's tough.
Before we move on to other things that are going on in the NBA, what would you put on like your bingo card of things that you're still waiting to see and excited about?
Oh, a Klay
I
Thompson.
want the very flashy Marcus Smart offensive game.
Yes.
He always has one that makes you be like, what did he average again? And look it up on Basketball Reference.
He shocks
every time.
Like I love Marcus Smart. I wanted him to be a Spur for a really long time. There's like a handful of people I always say that about, but I would like to see. I want to see the refs and they're dealing with Draymond Green, because I find this to be a fascinating experiment of like what he's allowed to get away with versus what everyone else. And I get why it happens, but I don't think that it's right that it keeps. I mean, I'm listening to like former players like Eddie Johnson and those guys talk about it, and they're just like, this is crap. Like, why is he being held to such a wonderful double standard for him? And it's kind of a cockamamie excuse of like, well, we already has a text. No, that's his problem. Like if he was a child behaving badly, you don't take that into account. You punish them. So I'll be curious to see if the refs sort of step up on Draymond and shorten but I don't know. I don't think they will. He's allowed to do something. Like he pulled his pants down, for God's sakes. He tried to pull his pants down. I'm like, nobody else is allowed to do that. That's crazy. So I would be, if he gets kicked out of this series again, that'll be interesting.
In another life, would be a great lobbyist. Like, would run DC. Jordan, what about you?
Well, to the response to the refs, I don't think that they're going to step up. I think every time they put the headsets on to review, it's Adam Silver saying, don't kick out Draymond Green. That's what's in the headphones. For my bingo card, I think we need a Klay game. I've said this, that Klay has to step up. It has to be, and of course, in his dramatic fashion, or it's going to be when they need him. Steph's going to have an off night. Jordan Poole's going to have an off night. And Klay's going to be like, oh, yeah, I can shoot. I can play basketball. And then he's going to have like a 35-point game. That's going to be on my bingo card because it's going to happen. I don't know what game it's going to happen. It needs to happen soon, but it's going to happen.
I like that.
I was telling you guys I saw that meme make a comeback of the guy with the girl on his arm, and then he's looking back like, ooh, to the girl, behind him. And then there's literally someone put that with a side-by-side of Steph. And in this situation, Steph is the guy in the other meme, and Jordan Poole is like the girl walking away who he's turning to look at, and then Klay is like right behind him. Oh. But it wasn't like somebody photoshopped them in. It's actually something that's happening during a game. Like Steph is turning to look at Jordan Poole like, ooh.
Oh, God. It's fresh
meat. Smiling at Jordan Poole so hard after he made that, half-court shot. He was like, I love you. Thank you for being here.
He's fun to root for. He's got the right amount of arrogance, like cockiness, that's like, it's perfect. It's a perfect amount.
I was just talking about wanting Marcus Smart to have like a huge, like whatever, 30-point game or something. He has had the higher scoring game between him and Klay Thompson right now. With 18 points. So yeah, that's not great for Klay, but still glad he's back out there. Okay, so do you guys want to make a prediction? Just to give you something to stay up late at night and think about when you're doing the wheel of like, what have I said to piss people off and that people can pin on me later, and does everyone hate me, or are people talking about me? Just put one more thing in there if you guys want to make a prediction. Right now, I'm not gonna lie, I actually do feel better about the Celtics still.
Okay.
I think it's more in their hands, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Between the Warriors defense and them being able to control their destiny offensively, I will hold. Yeah, I think it's them. I think that if they can tighten up, that's within their control. I don't know that it's the same the other way around.
I feel like that game one, if you were on the fence about the Celtics, should have really just sort of told you like, this is like, they're legit and their coach is legit and they love him, and it's. Yeah, I there's a part of me that just still very much believes in the ability of the Warriors to just go on these crazy shooting runs, like just stuff that you don't ever see. And so I think until proven otherwise, I'm sticking with that.
Yep, I think I'm sticking with mine. What I say? Warriors in 6.
And
especially like going back to Boston. Like Boston hasn't played well at home, and that's so weird. They played better on the road. So if I'm the Warriors, like that has to be some confidence. I know Boston is just a terrible place to play anyway, but there's some confidence of like, okay, they're not unbeatable here. They are definitely beatable at home. So going into these next couple games, they should have that level of confidence at least.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of league news that is fun. The first three, I guess, are all like coaching related. Number one, Quinn Snyder left Utah. He's been there 8 years. Oof. He had 2 years left on his contract. Him and Danny Ainge were talking about an extension when he resigned. He said, quote, "It was time for the Jazz to move forward, for me to move forward. I just think it makes the most sense to me." I actually completely agree with him. In the scenarios that we were making up in our heads about how the Jazz make a major shift, this did not come up. Yeah. But I think that was unfair of us. We were not considering his happiness, because I have to say, looks like it's been a supremely unfun job to have.
Wait, you're telling me that living in Salt Lake City for 8 years is not fun?
Honestly,
like, I gotta get
and
out of
it's
here.
even beyond that. Like, my number one thing had to have been, I just did think about handling two young 20s-ish men who just don't like each other. Mm-hmm. And one of them is just known to be petulant, and the other one is like pretty passive aggressive. Like, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that. He somehow maintained great relationships with both of them, as far as we know. And yeah, shame on me for thinking there were only two ways to break up a band.
You're right.
Congrats to him for getting out. I hope he coaches somewhere else and is very happy. And because he's a great coach and he deserves a new chance, and it just was not working. And I think, you got to leave when you know things aren't working. That's a lesson that, yes. I should take my own advice there. I'm going to look for
different areas of life, for sure.
Put up a picture of him just to remind myself. Congrats to you, Quinn Snyder.
I didn't understand. It seemed like, he just had hip surgery, and he was like saying that he wasn't at full health, and like that's why he was stepping back. That was like one angle I heard, but then I'm also hearing he's open to coaching somewhere else next year, so it seems like it was a team thing. Have you guys heard both of those? Because I was confused as to the why. It also just seems like it's time. I'm just using this as a reason to leave.
I mean, don't you wish he could I had these flashbacks to like the Urban Meyers who are, I have health issues and I'm leaving to spend time with my family, and like none of it ends up being what it is. And so you're just like, I wish you could just say, look, I'm leaving. Like, I gave it 8 good years. I gave it my best. I don't want to be here anymore. Thank you for everything you've given me. Keep the last 2, however they work that out. And we'll see where I end up next. Cause I do like, he's way too young to not end up somewhere. It's so funny, though, how there's just this process to like leaving a job when it comes to professional sports. Like, you can't just say, I quit and now I'm going to go work over here. Like, it's just this whole thing. Oh, my God, where do you think he's going to go? He probably already knows. Like, he probably already knows where he's going next. And just we don't. And I mean, I'll be curious, too, because where could he go? Like, the spots are interesting to me. I don't know where he would end up.
Yeah, but he's in a good position. Like, just take a year, maybe 2.
Heck yeah.
Relax, I didn't know about the hip thing. Those suck. Was it hip replacement?
So young.
I'm not sure.
That's tough, and that usually leads to you get the other hip replaced. Because
that's fine.
My dad just had his hip replaced, but he says he feels like a bionic person. Like,
really?
He feels like he's a robot. He loves it.
Should we just better? Should we preemptively get our hips replaced? Like now?
He was a running back, so he was like in so much pain, and then now he's like, I could give you 40 yards right now. That's my dad.
Your dad's just racing people? Yeah.
He's just running. It's awesome.
Yeah. Harry says, yes, Harry. I saw this. So Woj afterwards, I think this basically like set the landscape. I will say, I do think Snyder kind of did what you guys were saying, like you wish he could do. He was just like, it was time for me to go. It's time for them to move on. Like, whatever. Goodbye. It was a good time. Until it wasn't. But Woj said afterwards, and I think that really, if I'm Donovan Mitchell's agent, you jump on this, right? You like get ahead of this to make it, to transform it into something that works for you. Per Woj, after this, Donovan Mitchell is described as unsettled, unnerved, and wondering what it means for the franchise's future. Sources told ESPN on Sunday. And then I clicked on the article And yeah, it's actually just a lot more adjectives than that. Donovan is also described as surprised and disappointed. So first of all, like somebody just, the agent literally went
The
on.
source. Yeah.
Yes. Went on like disgruntled, surprised, synonyms.com, unsettled, unnerved, wondering, surprised, disappointed. Yeah, we get the picture. He's not happy and he's shocked. Okay. So Donovan has 4 years and $135 million left on his contract, including a player option on the final season. It's no secret. I think I've heard from like people here, people in Louisville, I'm saying heard as in like this is very second, third hand stuff, just like kind of passing stuff. I'm not wojing it right now. Like he does not want to be there. And I've been hearing that for years.
Yeah.
So yeah, go spin it. But
it's kind of funny though that Quinn Snyder got out for. He's like, and watch this. I'm going to leave before you get to leave, and like that's the ultimate. Just now you're stuck. But yeah, you have to like. I mean, I know personally I've used that before, where you sort of use this moment of chaos in the business that you're like, oh, now this is my out. This is my out. Like you have to take it and figure it out. But again, like it's a lot of money, and I feel like Donovan Mitchell hasn't done himself any favors in the last few years as far as like what people I think of him as a player, sure, but availability and sort of attitude has been questioned. So I don't know. Like it'd be hilarious if Quinn Snyder, if they just didn't get along and Quinn Snyder kind of screwed him and was like, I'm going to leave now and you're going to have to stay. Good luck.
Right.
How fast did D Wade call him? When he heard unnerved, was D Wade like, what's up? How can we fix this?
How do we nerve you back? Like I don't know what's wrong.
Your nerves back.
I feel like something is going on with, you know how the NBA kind of like fixed Philly. They were like, okay, take Colangelo. He's yours now. Like D Wade is involved in Utah. Danny Ainge is involved in Utah. Like, what the fuck's happening in Utah? You know, they were like, look, shit's not, we need to make this more appealing. We're going to put some big names here. Like, I think there's a lot of money going on.
Haley, I like that.
Yeah, it's moving somewhere. I mean, that's not natural. It just does not make sense for like a lifelong Miami guy who had a stint in Chicago, went to Cleveland for like 2 days and was like, fuck this, I'm going back to South Beach, to be like, you know where I'm going to really invest my money? Utah. Yeah, and then like Danny Ainge is going to get, like pretty forced, what did they say? Mutual decision.
Oh, yeah.
Forced out of Boston. And you're going to go to Utah after you've made this legend of yourself? Honestly, look.
Makes you think.
I've been to Utah one time. And I was driving through from Minnesota to LA. And I stopped at One Panda Express. And I got to say, in my 30 minutes in that Panda Express, it was a little weird. But I can't speak for, all. I know that people say a lot of stuff about Utah. I'm just saying that personally,
I went to a strip club in Utah.
I feel like there are other places to go. That's all I'm saying.
I went to a strip club with a crew in Utah in Salt Lake, and there was a woman dancing, that did not have shoes on and looked like this beautiful fairy that came out of like this magical forest. And I've never seen anything like her. So I was like, what a weird moment for me to have in Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's what I remember about Utah. That and the hotel.
That feels like something that would happen at Jumbos.
It
like
was
just like
weird.
a very urethral. Yeah, great.
Yeah, like
I love
who
that.
are you?
Good strip club culture.
Magical.
Honestly,
yeah.
Many people are saying it.
Like it's people don't know. It's underrated.
Played at Dixie State. That was
maybe there are reasons to return. I don't know.
Oh gosh,
no.
I did not have a great time in Utah.
I wouldn't go there voluntarily. No.
Yeah. So anyway, Donovan, I get it.
We get it.
But then again, like you've said, it just hasn't looked the best from the outside. But none of us look the best on the outside when we're unhappy with the job.
That's a good point.
Who among us has not been made to look like the bad person in a situation?
Yes.
Yeah. So I get it. But then I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited to see it unfold. Congrats to Quinn for leaving. I hope that your hip rehabs as well as Jordan's dad.
Yes.
I mean, seriously. Good Lord.
That's such a dad thing too, to be like, you want to race? Like, let's sprint 40. That's just like the most dad thing ever.
I kind of love it.
It's
every time we go to the beach.
Oh, go ahead.
We do that with my dad's always like, who wants to race?
Oh my God, really?
Fast. Yeah, no,
What
yeah.
is happening
We're a really
right now?
competitive family. Yeah.
Such a dad
Lord.
thing.
God,
I know. I've never beat him.
Really? Still?
Never in a sprint on the beach.
No, this
He's
has to happen.
Fast, yeah. And also, when I was younger and we used to go, like, you know, whatever, to play basketball, he would play with all the people, like, and, you know, my brother would, like, play pickup games. Like, sometimes dads would come. And my dad is, like, 5. I think I might be taller than him now. He's, like, maybe, like, 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
Hook shot like you've never seen in your life. So he's just hustling people. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But you got to beat him at some point. That's your life goal now.
In basketball, never.
No, running on the beach.
Yeah.
Running. And it's on
to.
the beach, sand, you know, he might have you beat just on the sand. Have you tried flat land?
You know that, like, he's got that dog in him meme?
Yes.
I don't. Like, I don't have it. I don't.
You better get it.
Nothing.
You better get it because this is embarrassing.
I feel like more like maybe like a little butterfly or something. Yeah, no, he's
a butterfly.
I would crush
like,
my
honestly,
dad right now.
That makes me sound too good. I'm not trying to, but yeah, I just don't have it any. Anyway, should we talk about the Lakers?
Yes.
Sure,
right.
this is good.
It's happening.
I know, it really is. We've got Sir Darvin Ham to Los Angeles, new Lakers coach, and actually someone that I think you can be very excited about. Not that you couldn't be about Frank Vogel, but I do feel like this is something that is new, refreshing. Westbrook was happy about it. Westbrook was at the press conference and was like swaying side to side, like doing a lot of these. Pelinka was nodding, you know, very heavily when he was speaking. I feel like, to me, Ham is the 27 dresses of the NBA head coaching carousel.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been the bridesmaid so many times in these, like, coaching conversations, and he's finally been hired. He's finally the bride. I'm very happy
nervous
for him.
I'm nervous for him. Like, I like him, and I don't want this to be a disaster for him. I mean, I know he said he's fun. I don't know, because what are the changes that the team's going to make, I guess, at the end of the day. If you're just going to do the same team as last year, then I don't think that's going to work. But I like him, and I don't want that for him, because this is a hell of an opportunity to coach the Los Angeles Lakers. Is like, if you can figure this one out, right? Yeah. Like, it's always been like Lakers and Knicks. If you can win with the Knicks, like, you're going to be a legend for the rest of your life. So I want that to happen for him. I'll just be curious to see what else they're planning on doing before October. That's the $1 billion question, I guess. But are you happy, Jordan? Like, are you excited about him?
I am. I had the same thought. I was like, I'm nervous. Any coach, I'm like, you know, just like we say about rookies coming to the Lakers, you're just under this spotlight and you have to succeed immediately, or myself included, we'll turn on you so fast, because we have this winning culture, so you have to fit in there. To me, reading more about him, reading more about how the press conference went, I'm excited because they talked about the pressure. And he said, you know, where I'm from, he told the story about getting shot in the face.
Yeah.
And how he's like, that either makes you fearful or fearless. And that made me fearless. This is going to be fun. I want to change defensive. I need people to be tougher. And that's exactly what I'm excited for. He also said that Ben Wallace might be on his coaching staff, which I'm like, yes. Our old Ringer coworker, Jomi, he tweeted, like, just lock AD and Ben Wallace in a room together for 24 hours.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Ben Wallace just beat him up a couple times. He'll come out harder, stronger. That's what I need. But I think best case scenario, this is like a Ime Udoka situation. Like, he's young, he's a former player, they respect him, he has a defensive minded, he has that tough mindset. That's what the Lakers need. And I think they also just needed a change. Frank Vogel, he was on the decline. And so this is this is his first coaching job. He wants to do well. He has love for the Lakers because he started his coaching career there. So I'm excited. I'm holding my breath. I'm like, I hope this works out for you. I really want it to work, but the upside is good. I'm happy.
Speaking of Wallace's, I didn't hear about Ben, but Rasheed Wallace is part of he joined the Lakers staff.
I mean, what?
So
I
even
saw
better,
that.
kind of.
I was like,
yeah.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Make this all happen.
That's gonna be good.
Oh
I
my
liked
God.
his quotes a lot. I think that's fun. That also feels very in line with the culture. You said they have a winning culture. I think at this point they have a history of a winning culture. So if they can get back to it, that would be great, because right now they don't have it. But that's kind of what he was saying. Like, he had that quote where he said, we have a saying that we like called facts over feelings. That's what you need, because I think that Russ needs to feel like, because Harry, he's saying like, you missed your assignment. That needs to be pointed out. There can't be feelings flying.
Right.
That
For
didn't end up
everybody on the roster.
for everybody. Yes. That didn't end up happening with Frank Vogel. And I don't know that it's Frank Vogel's fault. Russ obviously felt alienated by him, right or wrong. Honestly, probably wrong. But he was feeling alienated by everybody. So for him to feel like someone 100% has his back, that's what he needs if he's going to be set up for success anywhere, as much as he can with this team. Like you guys said, the team is going to need some adjustments. Like, this is not a winning team as is. But we say all of this, acting like Russell Westbrook is never going to have a good stint again.
Yeah, no way. It can't be true.
Look at Al Horford.
Exactly.
Al Horford, game one, I was like, oh, finals MVP, Al Horford. You know what I mean? Like, there's all the time in the NBA we say these careers have ended and they're dead for good, and it just doesn't happen. Time and time again, we're proven that that's not true. And am I saying that he's going to get back to MVP level caliber? Many people said he shouldn't have been the MVP in the first place.
That's fair.
But yeah, people that have a dog in them, like Russell Westbrook is so eager to prove that everything
and he feels
that
supported.
People said last year. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
and he feels supported.
I think that's huge.
I think there was a lot of feelings with Frank Vogel and not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings and not like reorganizing rotations and lineups because trying to be soft on people's feelings. But I always say, just as a former player, like, game film does not lie. So if you're even LeBron James, you have been standing for the whole shot clock. You've been standing in that one spot on defense. Like, you have to do something. If he's able to call everybody out from the top down, then that creates a culture of wanting to play for each other, wanting to, play for those facts and not try to walk around on eggshells for those feelings, which I think Frank Vogel was doing.
And I think you said, like, as long as LeBron and Darvin Ham have something, like, as long as there's a mutual respect and as long as that lasts, then I think they have a good potential here. But as we know, like, if you lose LeBron, like, you're dead in the water. Like, that's it. So I don't know. I could be completely just ridiculous. I just don't see that happening in this situation. There's something about Darvin Ham that look, that story about being shot in the face. I was like, oh, fearful. No, 100%. I'm going to be fearful for the rest of my life. I'm never leaving the house. And he's like, nope, fearless. I'm like, oh my God, that's a badass. That is a badass. So yeah, if that's what you need like an alpha dog to come in as the boss and not just, and no offense to Frank Vogel. And I don't think it was his fault, but that's a personality thing and you can't change your personality. So I think this is a good call. I really am. I'm rooting for him, which really, the way you feel about rooting for the Celtics, that's how I feel. Like, I want nothing but disasters for the Lakers, but I'm rooting for Darvin Ham, so I'm very confused right now. I don't know what to do. It's gonna be rough.
What if we turn this into like an alpha male, beta male podcast? We're like diagnosing the head coaches.
100%. Oh, why stop there? All men in every position ever. Like, let's just go down alpha, beta. We'll just go down. There's no explanation needed.
That's the part of the internet that makes me want to not know about the internet.
Oh yeah,
like
yep.
Get some kind of what's it called when they swing and you forget? That's what I want.
Yes.
I want, those YouTubes that are like, how to not be a beta male.
Beta male's my favorite.
Yeah.
You by saying it, you're a beta male. Like, that's it. Definition.
I think that I believe in Darvin because he coached huge personalities before. Kobe, he was on that coaching staff under Mike Brown. Spent so much time with Budenholzer. That's a good sign. Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I'm excited. They needed a really fresh start, and if they had started over with Mark Jackson, somebody who's been in the carousel for a long time, that's not a fresh start.
No,
that is
This is the one thing I root for in sports, all sports across the board. Like, I get so tired of the recycling of the same names because I just feel like a lot of it's annoying. As a fan, you're like, really? There's 7 billion people on the planet. We couldn't find another guy. And so for me, this is just perfect. Like, I think it was a great move. We'll see. Time will tell. Rooting for Darvin Ham.
It's annoying. And then the last thing I'll say about it is it's also just like you're borrowing this from a time where we didn't look outside a certain demographic of person. And so we end up with the same exact things over and over and over again. So kudos to the Lakers for introducing something new.
Thank you.
Okay, the last coaching change is not a change at all. Doc is staying in Philly. That is what
Yikes.
Yeah, that's what the Sixers said. So what do you guys think about this?
Is it just as simple as like where else were they going to go? Like is that where we are here on this one? Like, well, if we don't have Doc, then who?
Did they say this before Quinn Snyder was like, "Look, I'm out"?
I know, right? Like, oh,
just put it out there. Doc is staying, right? Right, Doc?
Yeah, right. It's kind of crazy. Like, it just feels like they just didn't know what else to do, and so why not just keep Doc? Is what it feels like to me. I could be very wrong, but I don't know.
That's what it feels like. I think Philly is just like, okay, let's all link arms. We're just gonna go through this together. We're gonna figure this out.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best, and I think they're just hoping for the best, taking it season by season with Doc, because man, Doc has tried to get himself fired, put himself in a horrible position by his own words, and they're like, that's our guy. We are riding with him. So you deserve anything that's about to come to you. If after what Doc has said, you are doubling down and saying he is who we want at the helm, whatever happens, you deserve.
What's worse, if he was to be fired before the season or if he gets fired mid-season coming up?
Mid-season.
Right? Because I feel like that still, it could happen. It could easily happen, actually. So
they have a losing start, and they're like, actually, we take that back.
We figured out a plan B. So now we've got one in place. Yeah. The thing is, I like Doc Rivers, the person. Like, when I was an intern here, he did some of our TV stuff, and he was just always delightful. But then he said, the day he sort of lashed out defensively and was like, would you ask Pop that? And I was like, did you just compare yourself to Greg Popovich? Like, no. And it just felt just so like, come on, you know better than you can't lash out that way, and you can't be defensive. And no questions that were being asked of that team were inappropriate. Like, there are expectations just based on your roster alone, and you guys have failed them, all the expectations. So, I don't blame James Harden on him. I think that's a separate situation, but they were kind of crappy before that too. So I don't know. It's going to be a mid-season firing, I'm sure, if anything, which sucks. Way worse.
Has anyone here seen the show Bloodline on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Bloodline. Maybe.
Terrible show.
Okay,
I think
maybe not.
Oh, okay.
Me and Jason Gallagher were the only people on this earth who saw through to season 3. It had Coach Taylor in it from Friday Night Lights. It had
it started out
Chloe
with like
70.
some weird swampy kind of vibe, family thing.
It's about a family who owns a hotel in Key West.
Yes. Okay. So not swampy, but you see where I was going.
Well, yeah, but there's some swampiness happening because the cover-ups. Like, basically, it's one of those shows where things keep going wrong.
Gosh.
And it's a la Handmaid's Tale a little bit. You kind of realize, like, a couple episodes in that you're never going to get that breath you want. Like, to cover up a murder, they've got to murder someone else.
Fair.
And then on that second murder, the cop who was kind of suspicious starts to become super suspicious. And then there's the one PI who won't let it go. So all these things, they snowball, and the show never kind of gives you that relief of thinking everything's okay. You never get it enough to make you feel like they're ever going to get out of it. So eventually you lose hope that they're ever going to have anything ultimately go right for a long stretch of time or even a short stretch of time. And you know that they'll never be successful, let alone just base level happy. because too much has gone wrong.
Oh.
And that to me is the Sixers.
Good
like, of
God.
course they're not going to fire Doc. Like, that just doesn't make sense. It's a show. It's literally scripted at this point, and it just keeps snowballing.
But we're wasting Joel Embiid. Like, I don't want that for him. I want Joel Embiid to do things. And they're not going to trade him. So, like, this sucks. There's got to be a way.
Eventually, though, he's going to do what they all do, which is reasonable enough, and he's going to ask out.
God, he should be doing that right now.
That is the manifestation of all of this, like 4 years down the line.
Yeah.
And then fans will get mad at Joel Embiid, when in reality, that's not where your anger should be at all. You've been
I don't even know
years.
I'm sure that, Philly fans are different people, but
Different
I
animal.
just don't know how you get mad at Joel at this point. And to be clear, I'm not saying that will happen today. I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that in 4 years, what can you really expect? Because things like this, you have to address when things are clearly wrong. Mm-hmm. And to their credit, like they did that with Ben Simmons, but even that I felt like was too late.
Yeah.
The move was, yes, because it took so long, the expectations from it were so high. You can't do everything with the ultimate stakes. You have to fix many things that you know are wrong. And I just don't have any faith in the Sixers to do.
Well, and I think, again, that's that weird Daryl Morey fascination with all things James Harden, because you're right. They dragged the Ben Simmons on for so long that you thought, my goodness, when they get rid of him, it's going to be for something amazing, because that's why they've held out this long.
And he kept saying it had to be for something amazing.
And then you're like, that's it? You're getting James, Mr. doesn't do anything in the postseason. No, that's not it. So it was just disappointing. And I know they tried to build it up anyways, and respect to them for trying. But we all the writing was on the wall. Like, you knew what was coming. Or if you did it, you haven't been paying attention. Clearly.
And Embiid is setting the groundwork too for that ask out years down the line, Haley. Because I feel like in his exit interview, he's like, everybody has to get better. He's going one by one person. He's like, you guys are expecting a different James Harden. Here's the James Harden that we got. So he's already voicing that everybody has to level it up. That's his expectation. And when that doesn't happen, or when everyone's comparing numbers of people around him getting worse, then he's like, hey, I told you, like, I need everybody to step up, including myself. So I think he's laying that foundation of asking for more help, and he needs it.
Okay, he's 28. Do we say by 30 he's out?
Damn. That's tough. I'm also 28. Tough. Jordan's also 28.
So you guys are done. Like, I'm just telling you that from
done.
Here. Like, you have 2 years to do everything.
I peaked already.
Yeah.
28. Like, that's
that you start to think about now. Well, I mean, I guess there is there's a huge difference in that we don't have to do physicality for our jobs. So like, we're not on some timeline, on another timeline, and you've talked about this a lot, which I appreciate. Like, we are kind of on a timeline, as long as this company wants to put us on YouTube and our faces on anything.
Hey, as long as there are hats and 800 lights, we'll just keep,
right.
keep going.
But obviously the stakes are like way different and way lower. But I will say, you're at a point in your life at 28. He's just had a kid.
Yeah.
Where you have a sense of how life works. You've never been able to step this far back and see the grand scheme of things, and in turn get frustrated when the sensible things don't happen. So I think as long as the front office is very receptive to what he's saying, which we've seen Morey has the ability to do, because that's what happened in Houston. Those teams were tweaked all the time. Every season those teams were tweaked. It just never quite worked out. But look, the Doc thing, like, this should have been a tweak. You have to cut your losses when you know you should cut your losses, and they should have cut their losses after like 4 games in.
Well, they might. I'm telling you, I if we're doing bingo cards on this one, I feel like there are a lot of possible spots, because the firing midseason, or not even. I give Joel Embiid 2 more seasons. Like, if they don't do something, he has to know, like, you're wasting what is potentially an amazing moment, a player that's like one of a kind. So yeah, I just 2 years. I'll give it 2 years. And I feel like that's generous, because if they don't do anything, oh, no way, he's out of there.
Well, I mean, 28 and a big And not just a big, not just any big, a big,
exactly.
Like the biggest big. And he has an injury history.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have.
You're not 28. He's already like
years.
32. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not wasting any more time with him. I know they get it, but I want them to like get it and do it. It's two different things.
Put action to it. I wonder if he wins MVP if there's another season. Like if it's 3 seasons. If he got the MVP this year, then he's like, okay, I'm proving to myself that I'm at the top. But I think since he didn't win it, he's like, okay, I need more help so that I could get there. Now your window is closing.
I mean, obviously it was so important to him, and it was kind of crazy refreshing to hear. But yeah, maybe that, and if he sees an actual proof that things are being done, like players are being moved, people are being brought in that would change sort of the culture and the dynamic, then maybe. But if you just win MVP because you're a badass and everything around you static, then no way. Then I have to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I could honestly, that's interesting, Jordan. I could see it going either way, because maybe it's like that outside recognition makes you want more, or maybe it's that getting an accolade makes you feel like you can buy yourself a little bit more time. I don't know.
Yeah,
it depends on the person, like you, the person, But
I'm just staring at him on my computer, and I'm like, I want so much more for you, Joel. I really do. I'm rooting for you.
Which picture are you looking at?
It's like he's very serious. I don't know.
When
if
you
it's like
Google him, there is a very serious picture that comes up, and there's a smirk that comes up.
No, this one's like legit serious. Like he looks pissed.
Oh.
Which I'm not buying it. He's adorable. Stop it.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about the annual Pat Riley Scorched Earth end of season press conference, which is the highlight of the Heat season. Okay, we are back. We're talking about Pat Riley's annual press conference. I love these. These are always such a good time. No matter how well the Heat do, they prove to be saucy. He's 77.
God bless him.
He challenged a reporter to a push-up contest,
which I think
during this press conference, which I genuinely think he would win. Yeah. Or if he didn't win, I still think he thinks he could win.
That's all that matters.
And I don't know who the reporter is, but I genuinely hate them for not taking him up on it, because that would have been all time.
Right?
Yeah.
Pulitzer Prize winning is what that would have been. Like you would have won all the awards. He is, do you remember the character, I think it was Lloyd Bridges on Seinfeld, that wore the tracksuit and was like, it's go time. It was always challenging. Like that's Pat Riley now. And at least how many? Like how many push-ups can he really do? And are they full push-ups? Are we doing knees? What are we doing here? Like
no doubt in my mind he's doing this way. He's
like
not
full,
doing the chicken wing.
Like elbows in?
Army,
oh, wow. Like chaturanga
I think he'd get
style.
confident and then just start doing one-hand push-ups. Like halfway through once he has a lead.
It's like Jack Palance.
I believe it. I believe it.
I do too. Yeah. It's so weird. Like any other 77-year-old, I might be like, but Pat Riley.
Very pleasant portrayal of him in Winning Time. We just had Adam McKay on, and we didn't fully talk about Pat Riley, but we did talk about how much we are excited to see him develop as a character. And he has, if I saw that and I was him, it would remind me of why I got into all this and, my legend and prestige in the game. So I'm glad that he saw that before the press conference. So I'm going to read a couple of these to you guys, and I just want to get I thought about doing a game, which was like, did he really say this or not?
Oh, gosh.
Ooh.
Okay.
But I could not come up with funnier things than what he actually said.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
so
they were good.
I'm just going to read these to you, and I want you to give me your reactions. Okay. I definitely feel an obligation to finish this build. And so if we're 3 years into this build, then I don't want to do another 3 years of just building this team. I think we're in that window of internal improvement. We got a great, great, great player in Jimmy Butler. We know that.
My gut reaction is that I think Jimmy is the only person that he said good things about. So if I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm sleeping great tonight. I'm like, great. Pat Riley thinks I'm a great, great, great player. I don't care about the rest of my team. You guys can go to hell.
Is that not who Jimmy Butler literally told a team, I could take the B squad and beat all y'all. Like he knows. He's the one piece you save no matter what happens. So yeah, I think he knows and Pat Riley knows, and you can't screw that up. But also, again, I don't want to waste people's great years. Like I want to see Jimmy Butler do things. Like I don't want to waste any more of that. And I know everyone can't win, obviously, but yeah, it would be fun to see him. I wanted the Celtics to win the series, but it would have been kind of fun as well. You know what? Maybe just put him on a team like the Celtics, and then I can cheer for everyone. I wish if there were only 8 teams in the league, this would be so much easier. We could just really consolidate.
Come to the WNBA. There's 12.
I mean, right? Like it's too much. It's too much.
What I love about this is that he says, I definitely feel an obligation to finish this build. Baby, it's built. You went to the finals. Like, what are you talking about? Built? Do you need to win it all to retire? Because then you're just going to keep going because you're going to say, we're at the top and I can't leave. We're at the top. Finish this build. Like, I'm glad he didn't say rebuild because then I really would have lost it. But there's an iconic Love Island moment where they're having an argument. It's Olivia and this guy who I forget his name. And they're sitting on the bed and she gets really upset and he says, sit back down. And she says, I'm sat. And that's what I thought when I saw this. I'm like, it's awesome. Built. You've built it. Congratulations.
But he's right. He's right. It's not done until you win it all. It's like the roof's not quite finished. There's a little bit left to do. I guess
that's what he's implying. Yeah. You literally have been to the finals. That cracked me up. Okay. He says, the next one. This is on Kyle Lowry being out of shape. Kyle had a challenging year for a lot of reasons. I don't have to get into them. They're personal. They're other things. But he had a challenging year with the move and everything earlier in the season. He had some injuries, missed some time, and there was some personal issues. The bottom line with me and for me, as far as hoping that you can get the most out of a player, is that you got to be in world-class shape. You just have to.
Damn. Well, Kyle Lowry is he's a little thick. Like, he's never going to be that one. He likes my friend Julie in high school. Julie was a cheerleader, but she was thick. And people always thought they mistook that for like something else. I was like, no, she's hella strong. She could do all the athletic stuff you need her to do. She just didn't look the part as like other people would. And I feel like Kyle Lowry's kind of that way. Then again, he could also just be really out of shape, and I'm trying to be nice. I don't know. Like, it feels like there's apples and oranges when I look at him and I look at somebody else, but I don't know. He could definitely probably be better.
I think it's an injury thing. Like, that's just hard. It seemed like he didn't really get a rhythm. And it's so hard. Yeah, because it's how are you training your stamina if you can't run? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think that probably had to hurt. I remember a coach telling me that I wasn't in the best shape, and that hurts, especially when you feel like you're doing everything in your power. And he could have come back early from injury. We don't know the personal issues. Like, we don't know the whole picture. But I know that had to hurt. But Kyle Lowry is thick with 2 C's.
Right?
He's thick.
He really is. Like, if I could just have half of his butt, I would really be walking around here with a different attitude. Totally different attitude.
Right. Yeah. Rick Pitino used to do this all the time when he coached at Louisville. And it's they have a lot in common. New York.
How dare you? How dare you? No. One of them had sex on a cheesy tablecloth with a security guy standing out, and one didn't. That we know.
Well, we don't for sure know that about both of them. We just for sure know it about one of them. But he did this a lot where he would motivate players through saying something like pretty nice, but then it would like not actually be nice. And he'd say it to reporters. He'd be like, no, you had a great year, super challenging, needs to lose a lot of weight, but like awesome year. I think that this is a subject that is nuanced, and you can't ever call Kyle Lowry the kind of person who doesn't give it his all, which makes me lean into completely what you're saying, Jordan. And also, I'm going to say, like, if you did transform his body into something that was a much smaller version of what we are used to, you do lose a lot that you get with him now, which is the charges being drawn will look different. The convincing foul drawing will look different. The sturdiness inside will look different. So he is that player. We've seen him be that player for years in Toronto. If anyone's going to get out of you, Miami's going to get it out of you. So I hope that this doesn't make him feel terrible about himself. Kyle Lowry, we think you're in very good shape.
But isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how it doesn't matter who we are, what part of the ladder we're on, how rich, whatever. When you say something that sort of appeals to our vanity side, like you look a little chubby, my God, nothing hurts more than that. No, because you either know that like, yeah, I have been eating powdered donuts all day, every day, or you've been trying really, really hard and now you're hurt because of that. So like, it's just the worst thing. I know it's so vain and stupid, especially when you're a world-class athlete and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's motivating, but I just don't think he has the body type. Like we've never seen Kyle Lowry ripped. Like that's just not him. So I don't know. I don't know what exactly he wants. Maybe just a little tweak, but we shall see.
I hope it's just endurance and not appearance.
Right?
Because I think
I agree.
that's the
Stamina.
only healthy way to talk about athletes going forward is what is the actual like health and what is, because there's not always the actual correlation that society has conditioned us to draw between appearance and stamina and then and health. And yeah, I hope it has to do with how he actually is, his conditioning, and not how he looks.
And then that's the hamstring. Because you legit can't do
Yes.
anything when your hamstrings like that. And they pop all the time once they pop. So good luck.
It makes me think about those like flops or those charges drawn or all of those. Like maybe he was just winded. He just needed a break, and he was just
soccer time.
like, please blow the whistle, you know. And if they're like, we can't play you because of this, like you actually, your endurance, we're only playing you in spurts because you keep forcing the refs to blow the whistle, then okay, yeah, get in better shape.
Can we get like a Rocky montage of Kyle Lowry in the offseason? Just like with the machines hooked up, running super fast on a treadmill. Like I'll show them. You'll show us, Kyle. I'm in.
We love you, Kyle.
We
I
love
hope
you,
he
Kyle.
does. Okay, next quote. This is on Bam. He's been asked to do a lot of things as a young player. He's always getting somebody open. Duncan Robinson should give him half his check. Tyler Hero should pay him half his check. Max Strus should give him half his check. That
Everyone
appears like a compliment on its surface, but you're actually just digging at three people because you have set that check, sir, amount. This was vicious, I thought.
Yeah, and he like turned around and said, I think later, that he wanted Bam to get like 15 shots a game. He wants Bam to like score more and be more of a scorer. Maybe he's that next guy next to Jimmy. So it was like a compliment, setting up a compliment to Bam, but then all the other players that are kind of one-way players and shooters, because of Bam, you guys have your points, so pay him. I like it. See, send him his Venmo. Like I'm there.
Half his check is just a lot. Like he could have said, like, give him, like a percentage of your
Donate.
tips or something. Yeah, it's take him out for a nice dinner. Like, but give him half your check is basically to me saying he is doing, because it's set on market value. You're saying you are. I think what he's trying to say is you were only doing as well as you were doing because Bam is helping you be that way. But there's a nice way to say that and a productive way to say that. And then there's a way that if I am Tyler Hero, I am livid.
Tyler Hero has a lot going on right now, you guys.
He does.
Okay, like I don't know what he's doing right now, Tyler Hero. But
What do you mean he's got a lot going on?
He's just got to get his life together. He's got a lot of.
What's he doing?
I don't know. Apparently his baby mama is accusing him of cheating on Instagram and deleted him from everything, and now there's like a whole thing going on. There's a lot of gossip going on. Yeah. It got sloppy this week. It got real sloppy.
Oh, bad week for Tyler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're crushing him.
I thought you were talking about. I saw him have a thing where he was like, "I want to start next year," and I was like, "Okay, that's." But no, we're talking about something different.
And apparently this is a history. Like I know, I went down that rabbit hole. And I went to her page and I was like,
Tyler.
oh, Tyler. Oh no.
Never met a faithful Tyler.
No, it's just not.
Never met a faithful Tyler.
I know one.
Who?
Right.
Name him. Name one.
His name's Tyler Dayton. He lives in Chicago. He's a great guy.
Tyler Dayton. Prove it. Prove it,
Doesn't
Tyler.
sound like it to me. I got to be honest.
Yeah, he's
shady.
a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. Oh God.
Tyler Hero, before he kind of pivoted into his sort of nouveau riche Instagram presence that he has now, had one of the funniest Instagram presences. Like 2018, 19, Tyler Hero was so funny.
Like why? How was he better? I mean,
like
obviously.
it would be like him looking at a screen door and the caption would be like, trying to avoid the haters. So tight.
Oh, I miss innocent Tyler Hero.
Oh, bring him back.
Where is he?
Oh shit.
He deleted all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's just weird outfits and super cool. Oh, man.
Okay, so his ex-girlfriend posted on Instagram on her stories, if you cheat on someone that is willing to do anything for you, you actually cheated yourself out of true
Boom.
loyalty.
Played yourself.
Folks, that's wordplay.
Wow.
Okay.
And by the way, only X as of like
Bars.
10 minutes ago. Because like this was not just, yeah.
Oh. It's getting messy.
It's getting real. It's always, I don't, like, I should not know this. That's always what I want to say. Like, I should not know that apparently you also did this when she was pregnant a year ago. Like, I don't want to know that. I don't even know your middle name, but I know this. Like, what's wrong with us? Yeah, so it's getting sloppy and messy, and good luck. Good luck, Tyler Hero. It's too early in your career to deal with this. Got to be better. Be better.
And you want to be a starter, and you have Pat Riley being like, okay, yeah, that's nice. Play defense. Just taking L's all week.
Literally, obviously can't play defense because look at this post.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, be proactive. It's not showing great,
decision-making skills aren't there.
yeah,
right now.
awareness.
No anticipation.
No anticipation. No read on the
defensive-
court. Yeah.
Tyler Hero.
Damn.
Oh, boy. Yep, I'll keep my eye on that story for you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, please.
I'm on it.
Send us updates. I did not know that was going on.
I know. I feel like I've just got the stupidest information in my brain, but yeah. Okay.
No, I was with you, Michelle.
Oh, did you do? Oh, perfect.
I knew
perfect.
about.
Oh, wait. Sierra posted something that surely has to do with this. What does it say? Oh, well, it's the Instagram story. And then she also has the woman also tweeted, this hurts.
No.
Well, I mean, that could be about anything.
Could it?
Yeah,
By the
she's
way, these are
responding to
young,
Pat
like,
Riley's
leg-
comments.
It's like leg day. She's like, this hurts.
This hurts. He's only 22. Good Lord. This is so much
Oh,
sloppy
he's a
drama.
baby.
Stop it. Make better decisions, boys.
Wow.
All right. Tyler
Anyway.
Hero. Sorry, but we didn't mean to pile on.
No, that's it. I was
He
just
wants to
going
be
to
a
check
starter.
and see if Pat addressed that in his, but he didn't.
Yeah, right? Not yet.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh.
He's going through some things. He can't be a starter on my team until he
You know what? He could use this, though. Like, your personal life's falling apart. Now's the time to just stay in the gym. Don't get distracted. Improve. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm saying it should happen. Because he's 22 and lives in Miami. Like, who are we kidding? God. Come on.
You guys want to do one more Pat Riley
Yes.
quote? Okay, this is my favorite one. I actually do want you guys to guess if I made this up.
Oh,
We have a lot of real experienced veterans, and so we put together a team that got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it was bitter. It was a bitter loss. The dragon hasn't actually left my body yet from that loss.
That was real. I didn't know what he meant. I thought that was I think I looked it up after. Like, is this what people say? The dragon is in you? But that was a real quote.
Isn't that like a drug reference? When people have the dragon?
I want to put it
That was
past
like
him.
an old school, like, that's honestly, it sounds like a Phil Jacksonism more than it sounds like a
It does.
Pat
yeah.
Riley.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Sierra, what kind of drug?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
heroin.
Ooh.
Oh.
Dragon.
Damn, breaking news. I don't want to be a part of this at all. God. The dragon? Sir?
Is
What is happening?
Chasing the
okay.
dragon, a practice of heroin use involving heating heroin and then inhaling it.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that's not what he meant, but you can never be sure. So
The dragon.
Never know
Honestly,
with Pat.
you just don't. That's what makes him great.
The fact that
that's what makes him great.
What is he talking about? Oh my God, I love this so much. Okay, yeah, that was real. Wonderful. The dragon.
I think we should have you back on during the off season to talk about the 10 signs that a professional athlete is cheating.
Yes. In.
As someone who spent a lot of time on it, just from
Let's do
afar.
it. Oh, I have so many questions and theories. So yeah, I'm all in on this.
Okay.
And I'm the researcher doing the deep dives. Yes. And we could just go one by one.
One by one. Oh my goodness. The dragon hasn't left my body yet. I'm going to use that today at least 6 more times.
Well, use it with good context, knowing now what we know.
Does it matter? I don't even know if it matters. Just going to use it and see what happens. See how the audience takes it, being, 3 people that are in my life. But yeah, let's see what happens. God, he's awesome.
Well, thank you for coming on, Michelle. This has been lovely. We love
Thanks,
you.
guys.
So,
this is awesome.
Yes, it's been very fun.
All right, we have a long off season coming up. So yeah, I'm all in on these researchers that we want to do. Side projects. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All
Wouldn't it be really funny if Pat Riley's thing was a whole press conference pushing drugs that he was trying to say it without saying it?
Oh my God, he's grooming us, but we don't even know it. Brilliant.
He's
Brilliant.
getting messages off.
Miami.
The
a lot of
FBI's
drugs.
you clearly were
That's the
referencing
thing.
here.
That hairstyle alone. I mean,
right? The
Pat
rolled up
Riley's up to
sleeves.
something.
He's up to something.
That
Well, when
all-white
I
suit
also-
from Last Dance never leave my mind.
Wait, who plays him in is it is that Adrian Brody?
Brody.
Oh yeah.
Brody. Yeah,
That's pretty
Adrian
good.
Brody.
All right.
Well, what we were saying is I thought they missed on the hotness. Yeah.
Looks wise.
Yeah.
Should have been hotter. Yeah.
But
He's hot. To me, he's
people-
very hot. And I
Pat
think it
Riley.
is. I think it is the overall aura. Yeah.
Yes. It's the rolled up sleeves. It's the he probably drinks the best wine and tells the best. He's so charming. All that crap that goes along.
I
with
like when you have so much gold on you that it becomes tacky too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like that.
100%.
Yes.
When
That's a
you cross
look.
that over. Yeah. I really,
he
really
done-
like that.
it. Has he done pinky rings? Because I feel like he's a pinky ring guy.
I feel like he
don't
would
know.
do a championship pinky ring.
I think
that's his vibe. But the quote I thought you were gonna say, Haley, was when they said, "Are you gonna run it back with this team?" And he goes, "I run it back with my wife every week." Did you hear that?
Stone, sir, he's definitely on drugs. No, this is not.
Just
going on with Pat
casual. Casual.
What?
He's like, well,
What does that even
Run
fucking
it-
mean? I run it
run
back
it-
with my wife.
I don't even
Butt joke?
know.
I don't even know what that means. What does his wife look like? They've been married that long?
They've been married for a long. He's 77, talking about running. I don't even know what that
I
means.
appreciate that he said every year or
It
every
says
week.
they got married
Every
in
week.
1970.
He's like every
Yeah.
week I run it back. That feels like sexual.
It has to
Definitely
be
feels
sexual.
sexual. And it was
Damn.
top of the
She's
press
kinda
conference. He's just
He's
telling
so
everyone
hot.
that he's 77 and I'm still hot and I still get it. So
Oh, they must be doing some hormone stuff because there's no way that's just naturally still happening. No freaking way.
I don't know.
Because how old is she? She's obviously age appropriate.
Think
too,
about
so-
him. Think about all the things. Did you read Blood in the Garden? All the things he do to motivate his players. He's doing some weird fucking shit in bed. You know he is.
Yeah, but
It's
that
probably
means
something
she's
new
also
all
doing
the
it.
time.
she is also doing it every week.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, what's his wife's name? Wife
Chris Rodstrom.
Rodstrom. Strong name.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, she's a freak.
She's 69. Nice. Damn. What's
She's
wrong
got
with me?
heavy under eye eyeliner. Freak.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
It could be permanent too. We don't know. She could have been one of the
Tattooed.
originals tattooed on
Dude,
it.
look at her. So look at him. You're like,
at
blah,
that
blah, blah.
wedding
Boss
photo.
stands, blah, 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 blah. She's literally right next to him, executing it way better.
I mean,
Wow.
wow. Yeah, their
Oh,
wedding
it's so
photos
cute.
legit.
Yeah, I love that.
1970? Good God. I was born in 75. They have been married forever. Oh, they've been.
really
They
love
must
that.
have some stories. She must have some
Mhm.
stories.
God.
I loved their
Shit.
relationship portrayal in Winning Time too. They just seemed like they were
Oh yeah.
BFFs. I loved that.
But when shit hit the fan, I would love to know some of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
The
I
crap
don't
that
see
he
puts
their
did.
him in
wedding
check.
pictures.
You don't
I
see
just
it?
No, I keep
Googled
seeing
Pat
different Patricia Rileys, and it's definitely not
No.
them.
No, it's.
I just
the
put Pat
Cinemaholic.
Riley's wife Google Images, and
Yeah.
it's the third photo.
Okay, hang on.
Pat Riley's
Kind
in
of
a
adorable.
maroon suit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
he
their
is.
wedding
His
day.
hair is amazing.
Shut.
I know, right?
Oh, it's so cute. Wow, he
So
is
cute.
not hot here.
No, right? I think he's a hotter old guy.
Hotter old guy with the beard. It has to be with the white beard too.
Yeah, he's
And
way
it's like
hotter
the
older.
sleeves rolled up. Yeah, everything about it is just he's very attractive. It's frustrating.
Oh my God, they're adorable. I can't believe they've been married that long. That is shocking to me.
I literally love that. Damn it. Is there any part of that we can include Jordan saying that?
God.
Sure, yeah.
I definitely thought you were going to bring that one up because
I can't believe I missed that. That wasn't in the ESPN recap.
Shocking.
Yeah, not in the ESPN recap, but on Twitter. And I actually watched the video of him saying it because at first I was like, wait, did someone make this up? But
what was his demeanor?
He was like smiling, like he was like so proud that he just made that joke, but we don't really know what it means. But he was like, okay, I'm going to say this.
It's all delivery too, because you can say any group of words, but if you do it in a certain way, it's like, was that sexual? I think that was sexual.
I run it back with my wife every week.
Pushing up his sleeves as he was saying it, and then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna let that sit in the conference room, you know?
Right?
And then we're gonna talk about basketball. Yeah. Because people didn't really laugh. They didn't really know what it meant. So,
oh my God,
that's
awesome.
Fucking nerd reporters, just
right? They're like, "What's sex? Never had that before." I mean, I'm about to say something real mean. Oh, I just grabbed my tongue and put it right back in my mouth. That is awesome. You know what, Pat Riley? I don't know what it means, but again, I'll be using that as well when I leave this room here today. I'll run it back.
I run it back with my wife every week.
Run it back in dragons. It's gonna
if
be
he said every year, people would be like, "Oh, cute, they're vows, like they are committed." But he said every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah,
he's definitely talking about sex.
Is he having sex once a week? And how come I'm not? What's going on?
At 77,
Do I need hormones therapy or what?
Remarkable.
What's wrong with me?
Like the legend Pat Riley, the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. God damn you, Pat Riley. You son
now
of a
I'm gonna I want to listen to these I don't think I've really paid attention
Me neither.
in the past years, but I'm a fan. Subscribe to this every
I'm gonna add you if you guys want. I have a chat with Katie Heindel where we just send each other pictures of Pat Riley. So I would be happy to add you.
Yes, I would like that.
Okay.
Yes. Also, now that we've established once and for all that he's hotter now than he was, like, however old he was in that picture, 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, because what? God, I love him. I always did, but now I really love him.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Pat Riley.
Shout out Pat Riley.
That's hilarious.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm just
By the way,
now.
Okay, where am I sending this? Because I don't want to screw that up.
Oh yes. If you can shoot it to my email, which I can chat, Harry K at BlueWirePods.com. Right there.
There she is.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Oh God, am I doing?
Thanks, Michelle. This is really fun.
No,
is there anything
awesome.
from when we said we were cutting off that you would not want included? I'm not saying Harry's going to include it, but just asking.
No.
Okay.
The world. I mean, if people know I don't have sex more than once a week, I think that's the only thing. That's what it is. It might be more embarrassing for Marty, but that's okay.
Michelle, where are you at? Are you in LA?
No, I'm in San Antonio. You know, Texas, great state. Killing it these days.
In San Antonio. I want to.
It's not bad. You know what? I grew up here, so it's kind of like whatever. But I've actually enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, which is weird. But it's really because my friends and family are here. Otherwise,
I love being home. I completely get what you mean. I love it here.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
There's a comfort to. Although I found a snake in my backyard yesterday, so I may be moving back to New York.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I flipped out. Like flipped out.
I can't do that.
No, and it was harmless, but I don't know that.
I am only not scared of snakes because I grew up here.
Oh, I need to.
I can tell you, no, I'm fine with them.
I
think I told this to you, Jordan, before, but when I was doing a hike in LA and I was on a trail and there was a trail that I later found out was called Rattlesnake Trail.
Okay.
And there was this older woman in front of me and she was like, "Don't walk any further. There's a rattlesnake." And I was like, yeah, okay. I literally was like, she doesn't know. I'm just going to like take the snake and flip, whatever. Like, so I go to like move the snake and then what do I see but a rattlesnake? And I'm not kidding. It is like it's like probably 5 feet away. You guys know my dog. Scoop her crazy ass up.
Yes.
So she doesn't attack the rattlesnake.
Oh my God.
And
That's the fear for me. It's more the dogs than anything.
did you know you can get rattlesnake training for your dogs? I found that out in LA. I'm not because Elfie doesn't.
They're old
Elfie's
and
not
deaf.
receptive to training.
Do you want to know what I did yesterday? Like, I've been laughed at for the last 12 hours straight, and I totally don't even care. I literally went online after we saw the snake, after flipping, and I bought $600 worth of snake boots, snake wrangling sticks, a bunch of shit that says it keeps snakes out of your yard. I went absolutely nuts. I was like, I don't care. I'm putting everything out there. I don't care. Because even if it is harmless, I don't know that. And the heart attack that I felt like I was having felt very real. And I don't want to do that. And it was near my tomato plants. And I was like, I'll rip out every goddamn tomato plant. I don't care. Like, I'll just buy tomatoes like every other normal human being. Terrifying.
No,
like,
it's so
cool
that you're growing them.
I told the dogs, I was like, you guys are going to pee in the driveway from now on. We're not going in the backyard ever.
Yeah, I feel that fear. No, honest. I'm out on snakes. I'm out on outside in general, but definitely.
I am too. I think I hate nature. Oh well.
I'm an indoorsy person.
Yeah.
I'm a city person. Like, I like the city. I'd rather be scared of a human because I can deal with that than an animal of some sort. Like, I'm out. All right, I'm gonna go let the dogs pee on the driveway, guys.
Sounds good.
Bye,
Thanks
Michelle.
a lot,
Thank you so
Michelle.
much.
Bye guys. Talk
so
soon.
fun.
Bye.